Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ellison Cruz, and it's an honor to be able to welcome you to God of War, possibly one of the finest games on the PlayStation. If this is your first experience in the franchise, you don't really have to worry. Not a lot of knowledge is inherently needed from previous titles. In fact, in some ways, it actually enhances the already incredible story and gameplay, but there are still some things that veterans of our intrepid, god-killing protagonist Kratos will appreciate from older games. This is a very long journey, so strap in, you guys, and get ready for a Helheim of an adventure as we take on a challenge at not quite the scorch-the-earth difficulty that is God of War. And let's get started.
Found some.
Get in the boat, boy.
Still want me to tie it to the boat?
Boy. That is enough.
Father,
What?
did something change? The forest feels different.
Everything is different, boy. Try not to dwell on it.
Yes, sir.
So, as you'll soon come to realize, this game is extremely narratively based, almost to the point where it might get a little overwhelming at times with the massive intake of lore and information and characters you'll be meeting. There are also going to be some very long cutscenes and set pieces with no commentary, and I'm guessing that's something you'll probably be okay with. But one thing I specifically want to know before we dive in is the cinematography. I really wish I had realized this sooner, but I want you to especially pay close attention to the camera work this game has to offer. It's so incredibly unique for a AAA game of this caliber to have such a naturally cinematic camera. And the fact that aside from one or two spots in the game, the plot is presented over one entirely unbroken long take that really sets it apart from the rest. With that being said and done, here we go.
That was the last.
Oh, there do I see my mother. Oh, there do I see my father. Oh, there do they call to me. 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 She's ready.
Find your way home. You are free.
I'm sorry.
Squeeze. This knife. It was hers. Now it is yours. She taught you to hunt.
What she knew.
Show me.
Now?
Now.
What are we hunting?
You are hunting deer.
Which way?
In the direction of deer.
Okay, this way. Father? Why are we doing this now?
I need to know you can survive the journey.
Then we leave for the mountain?
Depends on you. Hunt.
Indeed. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like hunting is definitely the plausible thing to do after something so traumatic as building a funeral pyre for our dead wife, unfortunately. So, thusly begins our adventure.
What did you find?
Tracks. Not deer, though. I'll keep looking.
Okay, so the first thing that I just picked up is something called an artifact, and we're going to be collecting as many of those as we can possibly find, because collecting a full set of them will give us not only extra experience, but also we'll be able to sell them, which is going to be good for upgrading our armor and talismans and things later.
You missed these.
Huh. Close. But also not deer. See? Tips are too wide. Mountain goat?
Your mother taught you well.
Yeah.
And as we kind of explore this preliminary area, we're not going to have a lot of movement options or combat to deal with here, so keep in mind all we're really doing at the moment is trying to find that damn deer. But first, before crossing the bridge, we've got yet another artifact. This one is a little ship, and we will make sure to collect the other two before finishing. Also, our first instance of what could be considered a small chest. I love how he just smashes his hand through it. Generally, those will have, you know, hack silver, which is this game's version of currency, and not a whole lot else to it. So let's go up here and see what Atreus is doing.
More tracks?
Yeah. But they're too round. Could be a wild boar.
Good.
Oh! Now what?
All right, so big old jump. There we go.
This way, boy.
Hup! Oh. Wait, deer tracks. They're fresh. This way. Ah! Found it!
Slow down, boy.
Sorry.
You're hunting deer, not chasing it.
Yes, Father.
Accurate. So we're gonna head over here and grab some more treasure, and mostly just try to get as much hack silver as we possibly can. The nominational amounts and chests that you find on the ground are somewhat randomized. They're determined by your luck stat, and I guess I'll just pop this up while we have a chance. There is a lot going on here. Tons of menuing to be done as far as weapon, armor, customization with your skills, and just a whole lot of map that needs to be discovered. And we'll get more into this later. It's a little overwhelming at first, but keep in mind, once you get it, it feels fantastic. So let's go over here, and you'll notice there is a very bright shining chain, and although we can't reach it now, we will play with that in a little bit. For now,
You broke our bridge. How are we gonna get across?
Step aside.
check this shit out, kid. All right, so with our Leviathan axe, we can aim and throw it.
Wow.
Go.
And with the press of a button,
What happened here?
it is so satisfying. But wait.
There it is!
Hold! What are you doing? Now its guard is up. Only fire. Only fire. When I tell you to fire.
I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry. Be better. Find it. Find it.
Grade A parenting there, Kratos.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first instance of a Draugr. These are going to be one of the main type of common enemies we're going to be fighting over the course of the game. And right now we can alternate between light and heavy attacks. And depending on how many enemies are joining the fray, you might want to be a little bit careful with how you proceed. So I usually, depending on your specific playstyles, there are so many different ways you can play, especially later on as we start adding in more aspects to combat, such as light and heavy runic attacks and other weapons, and having Atreus fight with us also. It's really good, but it's also very challenging, and it's very akin to, say, a Dark Souls game, where the game is actually easier the more you've played it, on the sheer notion that you know enemies' attack patterns and you have all of your attack sets the way you want them to be. And mine are probably going to be very different than yours, but we'll see how it goes. So of course we can block, and we can also evade and jump to the side. We can also lock on, and it's a little bit confusing to use because it's not super consistent, but it's a heavy attack. Whoop, there we go. But I don't use it very much unless we're fighting a boss. So keep in mind, in group fights, it might actually be worse. So, also you might notice I'm using a more immersive HUD, as it were. So we have our health meter in the bottom, our weapon, and in the bottom right is Atreus's things. But since he's not in this fight, he's not available to us. So we'll just go ahead and, with good timing, yeah, there we go. You can also smash enemies against walls, and when you see those enemy indicators to the side, those arrows that show that an attack is incoming, you're going to want to account for that. So having visual awareness of your enemies is a good idea. But right now, it just takes forever to take these guys out. So once you see the little experience show up, that means the fight is over and we're good. So also, every so often, Atreus will record what he's witnessed in battles, and the more enemies you fight, the more hints and tips that the game will give you. And this will just kind of keep on going out over the course of the game. We won't be covering every single aspect of that. And then there's also, of course, lore that we'll learn about later. So, Atreus is a little bookworm, so...
Draugr. They've never come this close to our woods before.
Keep moving.
Alright, so this is a health stone, and the bigger they are, the more health they'll recover. I'll leave it here since we don't need it, but a couple other paths to take here, and starting off, I think I do want to head off to this one first. So, you're going to find a lot of branching paths going to different areas, and if we head over here, you're going to find something very interesting. This is called a Nornir chest, and you'll see there are 3 runes on them. Oh, I see you've decided to join me. If we try to open it, it's locked. Turns out we need to destroy the 3 seals in order to unlock it. And there's actually some pretty tough puzzles involved with this. Luckily early on, all we have to do is destroy the seals. There will be some where you have to like hit a gong of the seals on them in quick succession. And they're all in like hard places to aim, but over here, easy enough. They stay destroyed, and it's now open. And the reason why you want to really focus on these is because these prizes in particular are extremely helpful. Starting with the Idun apple. We've collected 1 of 3, which are needed to increase our maximum health. And it's really nice. So the game will tell us there are 9 total apples in the world, but by my count, I think there are actually 11, which is infuriating. So it's okay, because that just means that if we miss one, we can still have an opportunity to fill ourselves up. So, if you ever find anything destructible, like vases and plants and buckets, you can destroy them for some hex silver, which is nice. Whew. So, yeah, we will try to find as many of those Nornir chests as we can. Keep in mind, Kratos does have a sprint button. For some reason, they just didn't give it to us just yet.
Here's this way. I can see more tracks.
Where did you... Also, Atreus has like this really weird tendency to just sort of teleport wherever, and it's really funny later on, especially in a specific maze section of the game. So we're gonna head over here, and you remember that chain we saw earlier? Well, we're gonna be able to explore that in just a second. That's what we go all the way over here. You'll find another chest down there, amongst other things. So, there's the chain. Let's go to it, shall we? There you are. Yeah, sometimes Atreus will just kind of speak to you in your ear, but be nowhere to be found. And it's pretty hilarious, but his way tracking otherwise is pretty decent. So we have smoldering embers there, and a chain to climb down. And it's so funny watching Kratos climb because Atreus will just constantly be on his back. I don't know. It's cute. I like it. Also, so, wolves, not the funnest to fight because their attacks are a little fast and their reads are kind of annoying. So, we can also freeze enemies with the heavy throw. Nope, I put my shield up. Put my shield up again. So, parrying is a little tough sometimes, but it's alright. Whoop. There we go. We can just take out that one. I find that attacking non-enemy or non-humanoid enemies is a lot more annoying to fight than, you know, people who are easy to read. So those guys did a bit of damage, but
They were just hungry.
What?
The wolves. They weren't mean. They were starving.
Yes, I imagine they were.
and lo and behold, we found a third toy. Nice. So we're right on track to where we need to be. And going forward, I guess I'll just mention this now. This is a coffin, not nearly as ludicrously powerful as some of those Nornir chests are, but we're just basically going to be looting bodies.
He can no longer use it. We can.
Nice. Okay, so I think we're just about good on side stuff for here for now. If we keep on going, I think we'll probably find that deer-like creature, but it's fine. We'll just take our slow climb up here and enjoy ourselves. Yeah, you're going to see me kind of alternate between some of my play styles a little bit because I'm really used to New Game Plus levels of combat and abilities and things, and Kratos just feels so naked right now. Like, all he has is 2 hits and his punches. You can fight barehanded, and depending on your play style, it might actually be good. But over here, we've also got something that is good to know early on in case you really want more Hacksilver, and it's the fact that you can find hanging buckets and pots from the ceiling, which were supposedly offerings to the gods, but no one's touched them, so we'll go ahead and take them. Meanwhile, a massive temple. The sense of scale this game has is unreal.
You went in the old temple. My mom told me never to go in there.
We do what we please, boy. No excuses.
No excuses indeed. And before we head inside, actually, there is an instance of stuff out here that I never noticed until multiple playthroughs later. There's an entirely outside ass area over here. And don't mess it, because it'll be good right now. So let's step inside.
Look. Can I have my bow back now?
Can you hit it from here?
We should get closer.